So this story is about a boy who is bullied and beaten by everyone at school. One day, he meets a man who is a renowned boxer, and he learns boxing from him. Eventually, he becomes a great boxer and shocks everyone. This is an old anime masterpiece, and its storyline is 10 times better than modern anime. In the beginning, we are shown our main character sitting in school when some boys ask him if he wants to hang out with them at night. He feels happy, but then remembers he has to help with his mom's business. The same boys go outside and start bad-mouthing him, saying everyone bullies him because he is very weak, and everyone laughs at him. He feels sad and is on his way home when some boys tell him he shouldn't walk ahead of them. He apologizes and says, "Go ahead, no problem." The bullies say something smells bad and accuse him of smelling like an earthworm. They start beating him up, and he does nothing but silently takes the beating. They insult him further by saying if he smells this bad, his mother must smell even worse. He gets very angry but still can't do anything. A man sees this and tells him they have beaten him enough, saying they look quite weak. The man dodges all their attacks, causing them to fall. He remarks they were just a little too fast, and they all run away. The man tells the boy he's strong, and then passes out. The boy wakes up to the sound of a punching bag and finds himself in a boxing gym where people are training. The man from earlier tells him he is in a boxing gym. The boy thanks him repeatedly, but the man gets angry and says he dislikes people who get bullied and do nothing about it. The boy feels emotional and starts crying. The man says if the boy is literally crying over this, he must do something about it. He draws a figure and tells the boy to imagine it as the person who bullied him and to hit it. The boy says it doesn't look like the bully, but the man insists. The boy hits it softly, and the man tells him to hit harder. Eventually, the boy hits it with all his strength, shocking everyone. The man examines the boy's hands, which are bleeding from the hard punch. He tells the boy his punch was like that of a typical hard puncher, impossible for a normal person to endure. The boy, however, doubts his ability to fight back. The man gives him some tapes of world title matches and tells him to return them whenever he wants. The boy runs home, where his mother notices his bandaged face and asks if he got beaten up again, implying he failed to make friends again. He reassures her and helps with the business, showcasing his surprising strength. His mother apologizes for making him work so hard, but he remembers the insults about his mother and apologizes to her. He watches the boxing tapes and is shocked by the matches, feeling a strange fascination. He wonders what it must feel like to be that powerful and decides he wants to know that feeling. The next day at school, he sees a boxing book and decides to buy it. He starts reading the book at school and watches professional boxing matches at home, making his mother happy that he is engaged in something positive. One day, he feels strange and suddenly runs home. The next morning, we see Takamura running and training, and the boy, Ippo, greets him. Ippo mentions watching the tapes multiple times and recognizes Takamura from a boxing book. Takamura jokingly offers an autograph and tells Ippo to come to the gym if he wants to learn boxing. Ippo insists he wants to become a professional boxer and participate in matches. Takamura initially laughs but then gets serious, saying boxing is not for people who get bullied. Ippo, however, is determined, saying he has thought about it seriously and wants to feel the power of being strong. And all the leaves start to fall, and he starts punching them very quickly. Hoppo is shocked, wondering what he's doing. Hoppo is amazed to see all the leaves, and Takamura tells him, "Now you have to do this." Hoppo says, "I can't do this." Takamura replies, "Show me that you can grab 10 leaves, and then you can become a boxer." Hoppo says, "I'll show you." Takamura responds, "Okay, you have a week to show me." Hoppo says, "Only a week." Takamura says, "I did it on my first try. It just looks hard." He tries, but all the leaves slip from his hands immediately. He says, "Guys like him can't do boxing." But yeah, his punch was quite powerful. He tries again, but every time, the leaves slip from his hands. He says, "This is really hard. How will I do it?" He goes home, eats quickly, and rushes to school. His mom is shocked. Even in school, he's thinking about how to grab the second leaf while holding a pencil, and all his stuff falls down. The teacher asks, "Popo, what are you doing?" Then he helps his mom and rushes back to the tree to train by grabbing leaves. But he's unable to grab the second leaf and says, "This is impossible. How will I grab the second leaf? I can't figure it out." From night till morning, he's training there. He goes home, helps his mom, practices in school, helps at home, and goes back to practice. This cycle continues, and finally, he grabs the second leaf. He says, "Finally, I completed one step." He goes home late and realizes, "Wait, where's mom?" He says, "Oh, I forgot to help her." Then he eats and finds a letter from his mom. She wrote, "Seeing you enjoying what you're doing makes me very happy. Whatever it is, do your best. Don't worry about the business. I'm still young." He eats and goes back to practice grabbing leaves, but he can't grab more than 4 leaves. Literally, it's morning, and he's exhausted. He says, "I'm not making any progress. I can't go beyond 4 or 5, but I committed, so I won't give up." Then he realizes, wait a second, the sound when Takamura was punching, it's different from mine. I need to make that sound too. But how? Takamura did it so easily. Oh, easily? Relaxed. Okay, bam. Oh, I got the sound. I've learned it too. He starts punching again. Oh, now my punches sound like that too. Let's go. Takamura comes running, and Popo is exhausted, waiting for him. He pushes the tree and relaxes his hands. Takamura is very shocked to see this. Popo punches 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, he grabs 10 leaves and counts them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Takamura says, he's an amateur, but he did it. He's quite unusual. He's going to be a unique boxer. Takamura says, "Okay, punch here." Popo starts punching very quickly. Takamura says, "Slow down." Popo says, "I'm enjoying it." Bam. Takamura tells him, "You need to work a lot on your abs and back muscles and do a lot of running. I'll give you a month for this." The scene changes to an old man watching a boxing match. He's the owner of the boxing gym where Takamura trains. They go to the gym, and Takamura introduces Popo. "Okay, this is Popo. Everyone, say hi to him." Popo greets everyone. The old man is shocked to see him and pulls Takamura aside, saying, "I thought you'd bring a pro boxer, but you've brought a new guy." Takamura says, "If you doubt him, have a boxing match to see." The old man says, "Okay, let's have him fight Miyata." Takamura says, "Miyata is the pro. We can't have him fight Popo." The old man insists, "No, we'll have him fight Miyata." Takamura says, "We need a training match." He says, "Oh, a training match?" Then he says, "Your training match?" He says, "Not mine, I can't do it." "Match then," he says, "You don't need to win, you just need to go there and show some of your skills. Don't you want to be a boxer?" Then he says, "Thank you for the opportunity, and here's our Miyata, who has been boxing since childhood, and he will box with a completely new guy." "Wow," Ippo says, "he's just like me, he is just like me." He says, "You are not the same at all. He's been boxing since childhood and learning boxing from his father, who was a champion." Then he says, "Go inside the ring," and he goes inside the ring, and the old man says, "It will be like a normal match, 4 rounds, and 3 knockdowns." Takamura says, 3 knockdowns mean if you fall 3 times, you lose." Takamura says, "Keep a strong guard and keep your hands up." Then the match starts, and Popo stands still in one place. He says, he's standing still like a fool. "Popo, move a little. You look like a fool." He starts running around like a fool, and Takamura is shocked to see what he's doing. Takamura says, "Keep your guard up and punch properly." "What kind of punches are these?" Then the opponent says he doesn't know anything, and punches him in the stomach and face, and the guy falls down. He says, "He punched me in the stomach, and after that, I don't remember anything." And Takamura is shouting from behind, "Get up, what are you doing?" And the old man says, "Is it over already?" Suddenly, he gets up, and Takamura says, "Why did you lower your guard?" He says, "Because he punched me in the stomach, and I couldn't do anything after that." He says, "No matter what happens, keep your guard strong." Then Popo goes forward and starts punching, but his guard is up, so he doesn't face much trouble. Takamura says, "Keep doing this." Miyata says, "Okay," so he just listens to Takamura, and let's go. He gets to strong punches, and he says, "Get up, get up. What are you doing?" Popo says, "He's way out of my league. He's much stronger." Then Takamura says, "What happened? Didn't you commit to becoming a boxer?" Then he gets up and says, "I will become a boxer no matter what." And everyone is shocked that he got up again. And then the fight starts again, and he says, "Go, fight properly." The match starts again, and he starts getting beaten up a lot. Takamura says, "Use your legs a little," and everyone laughs seeing him. Takamura says, "You look like a chicken whose head has been cut off." And he literally keeps getting beaten up continuously. He keeps getting punched in the stomach continuously. Takamura says, if he continues like this for 4 rounds, he will survive. Then people from behind say, Miyata's punches aren't that powerful. Then Miyata gets angry and uses his right hand and bam. He says, it's all over now, but Popo, despite taking such a good punch, doesn't fall because if he fell in this round, he would have lost. And then the bell rings, and Ippo is saved. Otherwise, it would have been over this time. Then Takamura says, okay, now use everything you have learned so far, and it seems you are used to taking punches because of those boys. Popo says, it doesn't hurt because when I was getting beaten by those boys, it hurt me more mentally than physically. But now I'm fighting, so it doesn't hurt, Takamura says. It seems Miyata has punched him too much on the head. Then he says, go and attack. He says, I have never attacked in my life. How will I do it? He says, did you forget? He says, oh yes, I have trained by grabbing leaves while punching. Then people are telling Miyata to defeat him quickly. He says, I can't do that. I have to get closer. And bam, then he throws a left jab and he says, oh, so he knows how to punch. And he starts punching very quickly. And Mita says, okay, so he's not a new guy. And traps him in the corner. And he tries to throw a right hook, but fails to land it. He says, I taught you the right punch, remember it well. He says, oh yeah, okay, so now I'll start with the left jab, 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 and he starts punching very fast. And from the back, someone says, Mata, after all, he's not that strong, and he keeps throwing punches. He keeps getting hit continuously, and he says, I'm getting tired. Man, I can't hit any longer, Mita says. Okay, so you're tired now, let me hit. But he says, no, I can't stop now, and even though he's tired, he keeps hitting, and then he lands a right punch, and the opponent goes down. Then Takamura says, okay, now throw that punch I taught you, and he does, but it misses, and just then the bell rings, so Papo is saved. Takamura says again, keep your guard up and attack properly. Takamura thinks to himself, he won't make that mistake again which he made this time, and Papo will have to give his all if he wants to win. Papo fully fires a right punch, and the old man gets completely shocked. Miyata says, oh, so he knows the 1-2 combo as well, that's good. And from the back, someone says, a new guy is really troubling Miyata. Literally, Miyata goes back and throws a punch, then goes back and throws another punch, and then he lands a punch on the opponent's chin. The opponent tries to get up but can't. He can't get up, and everyone says that was a chin punch. If a punch lands on the chin, the legs literally stop working. They don't listen to the body, all hope is lost. Thinking he won't get up now, he starts hitting his legs, saying, get up, listen to me, get up, get up. And finally, after much effort, he gets up. Everyone has a strange reaction, like, wait a second, what did we just see? He goes forward and tries to punch again, and bam, he falls again. Miyata says he won't get up this time, but still, he gets up again. This time he punches with a lot of power, and everyone is shocked that he can still punch with such strength. He punches again, bam bam, and everyone says, a normal person wouldn't even be able to stand here, and he's still punching. How is he doing this? Then Miyata punches him with great power, but this time he doesn't fall, knowing that if he falls, he will lose. He says, I will become a boxer. The owner says, he has an extraordinary willpower, and Miyata says, everything I have learned in boxing so far is nothing compared to this. He keeps making fun of everyone, saying, I won't spare him. While Papo is still attacking, everyone is shocked, and he starts hitting him, saying, fall, damn it. Just fall. He throws a very strong punch, and he almost falls, but doesn't. He attacks, dodges, and then punches back, almost knocking him down, but then lifts himself up again. They keep punching each other, and then Miyata lands a strong punch on his face and says, bring the bucket. Then the gym owner says, that guy has a lot of courage. He replies, courage alone isn't enough. But yes, Archie Moore, Jack Dempsey, the great Ali, they all had one thing in common, willpower. No matter how many times they fell, they always got back up. And today I saw the same thing in him. Then Takamura says, I told you that guy had a lot of potential, but did you believe me? He replies, I need that guy here every day. I'll make him a great boxer. Takamura is very happy to see this. Some boys in the background are saying, Miyata couldn't even defeat a weakling. Then Miyata says, he wasn't a normal weakling. He was very strong. We both wore the same boxing gloves, but he made my hands hurt this much. Still, Miyata is very happy. Then he gets up, looks at everyone, and says, "Hey, I got knocked out without even landing a punch on him." Everyone says, "But you had a lot of courage. You fought very well." Everyone praises him, saying, "You did great, blah blah blah." And they say, "Train with us. We'll teach you everything." He says, "I'll come. I'll improve your defense. Your attack is good," says Takamura. "You passed. You can join the gym starting tomorrow." He is completely silent, not saying anything. They say, "Hey, say something." He then says, "I can't believe you all accepted me," and starts crying. He says, "I can't believe this, and you all don't know how much this means to me." He cries tears of joy, and Takamura is confused, wondering what is happening. He goes home and sleeps. His mom is very happy to see him. So, episode 3 ends here. Do you want the next part? Let me know in the comments. And please subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.